K-pop feminists are honestly a joke to humanity at this point. I love how these entitled clowns act like gender is a personality trait. K-pop's been more about drama than music this year, and honestly, it's exhausting. After all the chaos in previous years, you'd think things would get better, but nope, here we are watching history repeat itself. The only saving grace is that there are still some stans with actual common sense and critical thinking out here. One fandom even managed to do something right in this burning mess. So that's why I'm back with more opinions, because only the real ones will get it. Welcome back, Rosieries new and old. Let's dive right in and remember the golden rule. Don't be a fucking snowflake. Just have an open mind, because snowflakes are just sheep. K-pop feminists are honestly a joke to humanity at this point. I love how these entitled clowns act like gender is a personality trait. Since when did being a woman mean you're immune to criticism or incapable of being a bad person? Apparently, calling out a woman on her BS makes you a misogynist or a pick-me, according to Stan logic, because they're self-proclaimed experts on everything. You guys already know which person I'm talking about. The amount of so-called feminists defending this toxic woman and using the tragic passing of female idols to make her the victim makes me want to vomit. They're out here with their double standards, justifying their reasons for defending a toxic woman. These different breeds of people have a mindset of a 5-year-old. But wait, that's an insult to 5-year-olds, because they behave a lot better than these grown toddlers. Having common sense is literally the bare minimum, but it's shocking how little of that exists in K-pop stans. Do people even think anymore? Why do these brats believe they're morally superior, spewing nonsense about misogyny while blindly defending trash behavior? Yuck. Just yuck. This is one of the reasons why feminism isn't taken seriously, because pseudo-feminists ruin it by twisting it for their garbage agendas. I bet you not that if a male idol did what she did, then you would all be singing a different song. Navis's debut was definitely not on my 2024 bingo card, and I needed time to wrap my head around it, because honestly my brain is still in the twilight zone from all the madness in K-pop. Like seriously, SM, why couldn't you just focus on promoting the actual idols you have? Give them better music or something, instead of wasting money on an AI avatar no one asked for. Navis was cool as a part of aespa's concept, and that's where she should have stayed. Why did she need a debut, and why on earth did you think slapping an AI face on a real human was a good move? It's giving dystopian horror movie vibes, and it's scary how comfortable SM is getting with AI. AI is supposed to make life easier, not replace actual humans and ruin careers. SM thought greenlighting this abomination was a brilliant idea, which means they might need brain surgery because that's just not normal, or maybe they've smoked too much crack and fried their brain cells. This is why people are side-eyeing SM, and it's honestly embarrassing. Focus on your actual talent, SM, not on some AI fantasy no one wanted. Stans really need to stop expecting everyone to blindly support idols when they're clearly in the wrong. Let's take New Jeans stans as an example. They're out here demanding that Hybe reinstate Min Hee-jin as CEO, completely misinterpreting their situation and calling it mistreatment. Like what? Instead of asking for better management so they can continue their activities without any drama or interruption, they're ready to ruin their careers just to bring Min Hee-jin back. How does that make any sense in your eyes? You're not helping them by standing behind a bad decision. Just because you feel sorry for your faves doesn't mean you have to defend every little thing they do. Sometimes supporting them means being real and telling them when they're messing up. It's not about being a bad fan, It's about being a fan who actually wants the best for their career. Perpetuating bad behavior just because you don't want to hurt their feelings is not it. If you really care about them, don't be afraid to say, "Hey, this isn't smart," instead of blindly following every bad move they make. Real support means being honest, even when it's not what they want to hear during tough times. Just because K-netizens say something doesn't mean it's gospel. I'm always amazed when international fans are out here defending idols and calling out the hypocrisy in the K-pop industry, only for other stans to come in and invalidate them, acting like whatever K-netizens say is the ultimate truth. Are we seriously going to pretend that K-netizens don't have their own share of ridiculous takes? These are the same people who constantly body-shame idols, freak out over the most trivial things, cancel idols over rumors even when they're innocent, and get mad about idols dating as if they own their lives. And let's not forget, some of them are still out here supporting Min Hee-jin when it's clear she's a walking red flag. They perpetuate toxic beauty standards and have the nerve to act like their opinion is the end-all be-all. It's wild how some international fans just eat it all up without using a shred of critical thinking. So no, what K-netizens say isn't the absolute truth. Sometimes they're just as full of crap as anyone else. Let's stop acting like their word is law and start thinking for ourselves. First impressions from debut songs aren't the end of the world for groups. And yeah, I know this sounds hypocritical coming from me because I'm always dragging debut songs for being boring and uninspired. I still believe companies should focus on actual music quality instead of making TikTok brain rot tracks. But let's be real, a bad debut isn't a death sentence. Sure, a strong debut helps get fans invested and builds hype for the next comeback. But when you look at the biggest K-pop groups right now, most of them didn't have mind-blowing debuts. For example, Les Seraphim's Fearless wasn't exactly exciting as it was repetitive and honestly pretty monotonous. But then they came back with Anti-Fragile, and that's when their music quality started showing. Same thing with BTS. Their debut was kind of forgettable, but with every comeback, their music just kept leveling up, and now they're one of the biggest K-pop groups of all time. So yeah, debut songs are important, but don't write a group off just because their first song wasn't a banger. Sometimes it takes a few comebacks to really show what they've got. Miov definitely needs a concept change ASAP. Their debut felt so random, like, who thought it was a good idea to throw a bunch of young girls into a girl crush concept where they're flexing about being rich and shaking some meow? It was such a dumb move by the Black label. Not only did it feel forced, but it also just didn't match their energy at all. It's like they were trying too hard to be something they're not. Honestly, Miov would have worked so much better with a royal concept or something more elegant. Imagine them in regal outfits, giving us that classy, sophisticated vibe. They could have totally pulled off a concept that shows strength and grace instead of throwing them into a role that doesn't suit them. It's all about matching the energy to the group, and right now, Miov's debut just feels off. Hopefully, they switch things up for their next comeback because they've got potential. But it's getting wasted with this current concept. Let's hope the Black label gets it together before it's too late. Les Seraphim's B-sides are totally stealing the spotlight from their title tracks, and honestly, that's a major issue. From their debut with Fearless, it was clear their B-sides had way more flavor and were actually fun to listen to. You could feel the emotion in the lyrics. Sure, Anti-Fragile was a standout, but after that, the title tracks just fell flat. It's wild how the B-sides end up going viral while the title tracks barely make a splash. Like, how does that even happen? The company seriously needs to rethink their strategy because it's embarrassing when a B-side gets more attention than the main track meant to showcase the group. You want to make a strong impression with your title track, not have fans saying, "Nah, I'm good," and skipping right to the B-sides. If Le Seraphim's team doesn't get it together and start choosing better title tracks, they're going to miss out on a lot of potential. They have the talent. They just need to pick the right songs to show it off. Hybe really needs to put New Jeans on a full hiatus with 0 activities so they can get the help they desperately need. It's clear these girls are struggling, and honestly, they're not in a good place to be idols right now. Sure, other groups like the ones Min Heejin affected are also in need of support, but New Jeans is in a different league of messed up. It's just wild that they're willing to throw away their careers over someone toxic they barely know. Watching them prioritize Min Heejin's reputation over their own well-being is sad and a bit concerning. It's like they're stuck in some kind of twisted loyalty trap. Hybe really needs to step in and give these girls a break to seek professional help. It's not just about the music anymore. It's about their mental health. If they keep going like this, they're just going to burn out completely. It's time for Hybe to make the right choice and let New Jeans take a step back. They deserve to heal and figure things out instead of getting dragged further into this mess. Jungkook was clearly showing support for New Jeans and not Min Heejin. I know some of you might roll your eyes at that and call me clueless for thinking I know his intentions. But hear me out. It blows my mind how some stans twisted his words to claim he's backing Min Heejin. Why would he support someone who's trying to drag down the company that BTS helped build? That logic just doesn't add up. Honestly, I think Jungkook was just trying to support his juniors who are still figuring things out in this crazy industry. New Jeans are young and navigating a tough environment, so it makes sense for a senior like Jungkook to show some encouragement. Sure, his timing was questionable, especially right after New Jeans released that video demanding Hybe to reinstate Min Heejin as CEO. That definitely leaves room for misinterpretation and lets stans run wild with narratives that don't hold up. Min Heejin doesn't deserve support or sympathy at all. Her behavior has been arrogant, manipulative, and downright nasty, so it doesn't make any sense for Jungkook to show support to her. For now, I'm choosing to believe that he's got New Jeans' backs and is genuinely looking out for them. ARMYs did something right this year, and watching them not tolerate Min Heejin's foolishness is honestly one of the highlights. After she tried to drag BTS's reputation through the mud, it's no wonder ARMYs are coming for her neck. I hope bunnies are paying attention and really reading the room, because that woman is extremely unlikable and needs to be out of the picture. Even though she's already fired from Hybe, she still wants to tarnish the legacy built by BTS's hard work, and that's just unacceptable. The way ARMYs are so against Min Heejin being reinstated as CEO is a beautiful slap in the face to all the delusional stans who think supporting New Jeans means supporting her. Hate to burst your bubble, but it doesn't work that way. If anything, supporting New Jeans means standing against the toxic environment Min Heejin created. Ha 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 ha! I really hope Fernats and Illit stans step up too, because Min Heejin is the root of a lot of the issues Hybe's groups are facing. It's time to take a stand and hold people accountable. Let's keep the pressure on, because we all know that the future of these groups depends on it. Alright, I'm wrapping this video up here, but before you go, I need you all to keep it respectful in the comments. Share your opinions, but remember, we're all passionate about sharing our thoughts, so no need to throw punches or take things too personally. We can totally have discussions without the drama. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, Rosieries, so you don't miss out on my future content. I appreciate you all for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.